searching for this all my life. You're just my type. I've been looking for a boy who can treat me right. Your dark hair, because eyes so bright.
Hello, everyone. Welcome back to Scheananigans. I am back in the studio solo for another round of Scheana spells. This week has been a very busy one because Summer has been sick, which means she has been out of school, dance, gymnastics, swim, all of the things. And thankfully, she's feeling better. So she went to school today. All of her friends were so excited to see her. It was so cute just watching them all hug and embrace each other. And tomorrow, she all week has been knowing just to rest up because she's going to New York for her first time ever. I'm taking her on a work trip. I felt like this past month I have been so busy and I had 2 days away, 2 days back, 2 days away. And she's been having just bad dreams at night and waking up and just saying like, mommy, mommy. And then, I'm not there. I'm on a work trip. So I told her, mommy has to take another work trip to New York, but do you want to come? And she is so excited. So all week she's like, will I feel better for New York? Will my cough be better for New York? And so I just keep telling her, yes, it will. There's no way in hell the cough is going away by tomorrow, but I know she's not contagious. She doesn't have a fever. She's in good spirits. So hopefully the people on the plane don't mind a toddler coughing a little, but I know that she is going to have so much fun. And one of the many little disagreements that my husband and I got into this week is cold air and being outside in the cold good for you when you're sick? Because the way I was raised is when you're sick, you stay in, you bundle up, you don't go out in the cold. And he wanted to take her on a walk yesterday and it was like 48 degrees outside. And I'm like, honey, she's sick. She should not be going outside. And of course, Brock had to tell me that I was wrong. And I was like, well, then Google it. He was right. Google said, for the immune systems and all of that cold air can be good and blah, blah, blah. So she went on her walk and I was proven wrong, which I hate because a lot of the time my husband is right. And this was one of those many occasions. So I'm like, great, New York's going to be cold. It'll be great for her immune system. But I'm absolutely still bundling her up, obviously. And we did yesterday too. But I just cannot wait to take her literally on the subway. Summer loves trains of any sort. So as crazy as the New York subway is, I know she's going to love it. We're not taking a car seat with us because if we absolutely need to Uber somewhere, we can order an Uber with a car seat. But we're just going to take the train everywhere from JFK straight to the hotel. And I know she's going to love it. All of the tall buildings. I am so bummed, though, that the Rockefeller tree doesn't get lit for like another week and a half because that was one thing I really wanted her to see. But I know there's going to be lights and all of that, the window displays, Fifth Avenue, all of the things. She's going to love it. So can't wait to go. But okay, yeah. But back to the sick day for all of my, seasoned parent listeners out there. It's probably second nature for you all at this point, but this was actually our first sick day experience because in the past, when she's had a little bit of a sniffle or a cough, we have sent her to school because the school says, if they don't have a fever, they're not contagious. It's fine. Noses run, coughs linger. They don't have to stay home. If they're really sick and you see it in their eyes, do not send them to school. Monday morning, we woke up. Sunday, she was a little sniffly, but Monday, I saw it in her eyes and I was like, honey, we're not taking her to school. I look at my calendar. I don't have anything. The only thing on my calendar is summer school, summer dance. So I'm like, we're going to have a girls' day. We're going to stay home all day. Daddy's going to go to work. Mommy doesn't have to work. I text Lala just to let her know that we're not going to be at school. She's not going to see me at drop off. And she goes, but you can still do the podcast today, right? And I was like, oh my God, this is why I have to put everything on my calendar because I completely forgot and spaced that I was doing the Give Them Lala podcast this week. So I'm like, cool. I just told my daughter I didn't have to work today. And now we're also sharing one car because as you know, my car was stolen. I've ordered a new Lincoln Aviator. It is so beautiful, but it's a 2025 and it's not ready yet. So I told Brock and Summer, I was like, wait, I'm so sorry. Mommy forgot. She does have to go to work, but only for 1 hour. I just cut out the driving time. So he took her in her Barbie car to the cafe. I met them there after. Then he went to work and all was good. But just, juggling it all. And then I had some appointments this week that I just canceled because my kid is my priority. She was sick. She needed her mom, and our nanny was unavailable. My mom had an appointment with the cardiologist. So we had a pretty good week, though, just chilling, mom-daughter time. She loves our girls' nights. I let her read one extra book when it's a girls' night, just gives her something to look forward to. So it's been a week, but it's been a good week. And I'm so excited to get to the city tomorrow and take her to Broadway. We're going to see Aladdin. She is just going to be in love with New York. I'm like, I might be making a mistake here because she's only 3.5. And now every time she hears mommy's going on a work trip to New York, I know she's going to want to come. So cross that bridge when we get there. I've also decided that I'm going to keep her on LA time. That means bedtime is going to be about 11 p.m. because then we just get more time. We can do more with her, and she's not napping anymore. So whatever. She can stay up late. The Broadway show doesn't even start until 8, which is 5 o'clock LA time. We'll do brunch at 2. Everything we're just going to keep on West Coast time. So anyways, you guys sent in a lot of questions per usual. Some I probably shouldn't answer, but I'm going to anyway. So I'm going to sip some tea, spill some tea. Let's get into it. You were at the Vanderpump Dogs Gala last week, and some of your fellow cast members were in attendance as well. Did you play nice? Of course I played nice. We were there for charity and for the puppies, and thankfully we weren't all seated at the same table, so it was easy. Do you still have your clothes and jewelry from the earlier seasons of VPR? Oh my God, I do. It's all in Palm Springs. I have my STARZ dresses hanging up in my Palm Springs closet. I just feel like it's something I can't let go of. It was such a big part of my life when I worked there and with the show. I still have some of my statement necklaces hanging up in this little jewelry stand that actually Stassi gave me circa, I don't know, maybe season 2. And I still have it there on display. Summer likes to play with it. I have her little potty sitting right next to it. So when she's sitting there, she'll open it up and look at mommy's necklaces. But a lot of the statement necklaces also, Stassi and I would share necklaces. And then my friend Jenni Jules, shout out to her and her amazing jewelry. She would send me a piece and then I would send it back and let her sell it because she makes jewelry for a living. And it wasn't always a piece that I would wear again. So I'm like, look, I'll wear it in main titles and then, sell it. So yeah, there's just an archive in Palm Springs. Is there a scene from VPR that you wish wasn't shown? Is there a scene filmed that you wish was shown? Oh my gosh, to think on the spot of what I wish wasn't shown. So many, really so many, probably from every season. But the one thing that I wish was shown probably more than anything is the very first scene I filmed season 9, where I'm 3 days out of the hospital and Brock and I are sitting in the kitchen. It's the first time you meet Brock on the show. It's literally the first thing we're filming. And we had about an hour conversation in the kitchen about how traumatic that labor was. I can't believe I could have died last week. HELP syndrome, being on blood pressure medication still. It was just, I really went through a lot. And I feel like had that been shown as the beginning of my story for season 9, people may have given me a little more grace, understood that there was maybe more going on mentally. Obviously I had no idea about postpartum OCD or anything when I was so postpartum. But I just had a really honest conversation with my, I guess then boyfriend, my baby daddy. And you didn't see any of that. When the show opened up and you see that scene, we're talking about who's coming to my hibachi dinner. And I just felt like it was really a missed opportunity to talk about maternal health. And yeah, I really wish that was shown. But oh well, that's why I have my podcast and you can hear about all things that aren't on the show here. Who would you classify as the number one OG girl of the group? I mean, Stassi, of course. You know, she was the queen bee of Sir. I feel like, though, if the show had been about Villa Blanca, it would have been a very different show and experience. And I may have been the number one OG girl of the group. What would you do if they brought Rachel back for season 12? Well, there would have to be a season 12 for that to happen first. I also don't think there's mutual interest there, to be honest. I mean, from what I've heard that she said publicly, you know, I don't think she wants to come back. And also, when you have a lawyer, you know, up against two of your cast members, and I feel like she was maybe suing the network. I don't know. I feel like I heard something about that, but I don't think she would be welcomed back with open arms, is my point. So, yeah, don't know how I would feel, but we would need another season. Do you think VPR 12 will be happening anytime soon? Honestly, I do not know. But what I can say is all of these reports that I'm seeing with all of these details, like there's going to be a 3-week shooting schedule in January. People are holding out for more money, contracts, this and that. I mean, no truth to that at all. And it's like, I would love for the show to continue because I do feel like there's more story to tell. But I think there are big questions where it's like, where do we go from here? How could this group still make a show together if anyone can do it? I have faith in our production team. Of course, they are incredible. That's why they've been nominated for Emmys 2 years in a row. But I also wouldn't want to force something that compromises like the legacy of the show. I mean, we've had 11 incredible seasons, and when we signed on, I don't think in our wildest dreams we could have ever imagined getting this far, to the point where I'm turning 40 years old next year. We all thought it would be so crazy if Jax made it to his 40th on the show, but I never thought I would. So don't know if I will, but you know, regardless of a season 12, our stories didn't end in San Francisco. They will continue being told, whether it's on another show, on a podcast, on YouTube. Like, we're not going anywhere. So get used to seeing us because we're always going to be here in some way or another. And I feel like some journeys do have to end in order for new ones to begin. So as I always say, stay tuned. We're going to take a quick little break and I'll be right back. All right, y'all. So let me tell you, when it comes to my glam, I've got that down pat. When it comes to my hair, I need help. I need help with products. I need help with styling. And my hairstylist uses the best products. Right now, let me tell you about Color Wow, because this is not only female founded, it is also a family owned business, and they have over 100 major beauty awards. You guys have probably all heard about their super viral frizz and humidity fighter dream coat, because one sells every 5 seconds. So I'm sure everyone has heard of that. Let me tell you, they have done it again with Money Mist. Money Mist is a light ultra luxe leave-in treatment, and it's good for all hair types, especially for dry, damaged hair. It strengthens, hydrates, and detangles. It is literally everything you need. Money Mist gives glossy, expensive-looking results, and it also has heat protection built in, which I think is so important because my hair has been through the ringer the past year between the bleaching, the coloring, all of the heat. So anything with heat protection, I am obsessed with. Money Mist is also sold out 3 times since launching this year, so I would get it before it sells out again. Also, this has gotten Oprah's Daily Beauty Award winner for Best Leave-In Conditioner Spray in 2024. So why don't you do yourself a favor and do what I'm doing and get yourself some Color Wow. Go to colorwowhair.com/goodasgold and enter code goodasgold for 20% off all products. To all my Outlander fans out there, it's time to rejoice because Droughtlander is officially over. That's right. The beloved series returns to STARZ November 22nd, and we couldn't be more excited. But this is no time to relax because the Frasers are about to embark on what will be their most trying and consequential journey yet. Picking up where we left off in the first part of season 7, Claire and Jamie are leaving the American colonies for the homeland they've longed for through years of war and separation, Scotland. But as we all know, homecomings can be bittersweet. With the Revolutionary War casting its long shadow and threatening to drag them back into the brutal conflict, the Frasers face the agonizing decision of whether to stand by the people they love or defend the land they've come to call their own. Forced to leave each other's side, Claire and Jamie will find themselves worlds apart, possibly forever. Is this where their journey ends? Don't miss an epic return of Outlander. Watch now, only on the STARZ app. All right, we're back. Lots of questions. These episodes, I feel like Dorit, very long-winded. You know, I'm just talking constantly by myself to you guys. So I hope you appreciate them. I know that these episodes do well with you guys. You send in so many questions, and it means a lot to me that you love hearing from me, because when I started this show, I never did any solo episodes because I didn't have the confidence. I thought that no one would want to hear me just talk for as long as I do. The miscarriage episode that I did, I even ended it with a Q&A with Brock because I'm like, I can't just have a solo episode talking about, sad stuff. And I had so many people be like, you know what, the episode was enough. And it was as sad as it was a great episode, just me pouring my heart out. So once I heard that, I, started doing a few more, and I just love that you guys love listening to these and sending in your questions. So just wanted to say thank you. And now back to it, because Mama's got a lot of cards today. Has your relationship with Ariana changed? I feel like my relationship with just about everyone has changed, if I'm being honest. And also, as life unravels, relationships, friendships, they ebb and flow. And that is just a natural progression of what happens in life. I think the thing that many people don't realize is Ariana and I were friends for years before the show. And even if the relationship, the friendship, looks a little differently now, her and I are always going to have a place in each other's hearts and lives. It may be more distant at times, but that's never going to change. Show or no show, nothing but love for her, always and forever. Do you miss the friendship everyone had before Scandival? I mean, sure, but it was apparently built on a lot of lies, and that's not the type of friendships I want for myself. So, again, things change. Shit happens. Why do you try to be friends with everyone? Tony and Belle wants to know. Look, I strive to be kind to everyone. I think people often confuse the two. However, I do enjoy having a large group of friends. I've always been that way. I have my inner circle of like my core friendships, the people I trust without having to have them sign an NDA. But, it's like the more, the merrier. And I know others like Lala prefer a very small, tight group of friends, and that's okay as well, to each their own. But we're all different. We connect with each other in, our own ways, and I'll do me and I'll respect you doing you. Mom, fast forward because this is going to get me in trouble. Girl, spill the Jax tea you alluded to last week. My mom's like, stop talking about Jax. I'm like, but people keep asking questions. And look, if I spilled all of the tea on Jax, it's like, I feel like it would look like the freaking Boston Tea Party. The boy is messy. And also, if people want me to stop talking about him, then he should stop doing things that require, being talked about. It's easy. But if he does want to keep popping off on me and messaging my mom threats, then call me Mrs. Potts, because I'll be serving up some tea. Summer was Chip for her first Halloween. It was such a cute costume, but my mom was Mrs. Potts, and of course I was Belle. What did you think with Jax's interview on Hot Mic? I saw that one clip, and that was all I needed to see, because he's a liar. What's the tea with Lala and Jess? That is not my story to tell, but I will say this. Lala is a boss bitch, and anyone would be lucky to work for her. Also, this is why I work with my family, because when you keep it in the family, you don't have to worry about them leaving you. So, there's that. At Nito27, will you hook me up with Lala? Hey, her DMs are open. Shoot your shot. Stassi tips 50% and you tip 0%. Can you address? I have never in my life tipped 0%. At the Chargers games, it's open bar. I always tip, whether it's cash or we tip on a credit card. And so if it's referring to 2 games ago, the only game, mind you, that I've ever even had margaritas at, because I just decided to do a full send that day. I hadn't drank in a few weeks. My friend who works for the Chargers, he's like, let's get margaritas. We tipped $50 on the card, literally $50 for 1 round of free drinks. And then when we went back, they're like, just come straight to the bar. If I have cash on me, I give another 20. At the last game, we tipped on every round. I always tip. I also don't always get my own drinks. Sometimes people get them for me. Also, I don't always drink at the games. That game was a full send. The game I was at last week with Schwartz and my cousin, I think I maybe had 2 beers and we still tipped every round because we had cash. And then Schwartz even put more on his card because I ran out of cash because I gave it all to the bartender. So never have I not tipped. It was like a triple negative, but you get the point. I always tip. And I always tip minimum 20%. It's like 20% for bad service. I usually always tip over 20%. So there's that. Who are you closer to, Stassi or Britt? Definitely closer with Brittany because we talk more. Our kids go to school together, but nothing but love for Stassi. I got to see her twice this past week, which was great. And we have talked about getting the kids in Jiu-Jitsu next year. So we might be putting them in a class like that together, which I think would be really fun. Just good for confidence, self-defense. Some of the kids at Summer's school are in that. And right now, Summer is in dance on the West Side still and also in Studio City. And I don't want to keep doing 2 dance classes. So when the Studio City one wraps up, we are going to put her in Jiu-Jitsu. She's been watching videos on YouTube of kids Jiu-Jitsu and she's like, I want to do karate. I'm like, it's a little different, but she's really excited for that. What are Summer's current favorite foods? Broccoli. I'm telling you, this kid loves broccoli. And I don't know what is going on at Chili's right now or at certain restaurants and where they get their produce. But apparently, I know there was recently a recall on carrots. There's some recall on broccoli. The last 2 times we've gone to Chili's over the last month, they've been out of broccoli. Summer was very disappointed because she wanted broccoli and she's like, fine, I'll get fries. But honestly, she loves her vegetables. She does not love her meat. We're still trying, but she's a vegetarian mostly with an occasional chicken nugget. Best and worst part of being a mom. I mean, the best part is just looking at this perfect human I created every day. She is so empathetic, emotionally intelligent for only 3.5 years old. She just is so kind. And I'm like, we did a good job. The worst part, I would say honestly, is my OCD. That is the hardest thing for me, is just having to block out the intrusive thoughts that, no Zoloft, no medication can ever fully take out your intrusive thoughts. I don't think a lobotomy would take my intrusive thoughts away. So that's been, and I don't even want to say the worst part because I would take intrusive thoughts all day, every day to have this perfect human with me. So that's just probably the hardest part, I would say, not the worst. How has Summer been in school? Changed you as a mom? It was hard to let go, honestly. The only person who's ever watched her outside of family is Gabby, our nanny, who you briefly met last season on the show. And we don't drop her off somewhere with Gabby. Gabby comes to the house. So dropping her off at school with 3 strangers the first day, now her 3 teachers are these amazing women who I absolutely adore. But the first day it was hard. She's just like, hey, bye, Mom. And I'm like, what? I didn't want her to cry. I wanted her to be confident and independent. But I think it's also made me a little more confident as a mom, just knowing that I can let go a little bit of that control and just trust that hopefully she's not going to break her arm on the playground. And you know what? If she does, she's done it once before. We cross that bridge when we get there. But it's also helped me be more scheduled, which Brock absolutely loves because with our job, it's not always a set schedule. So now we have a set schedule with Summer, and Summer knows her schedule. She wakes up, she's like, what day is it? Monday. Oh, okay, I have school, then I have dance. So she knows her schedule. So I had to tell her, this week you're not feeling well. The schedule is a little different. Next week is a holiday, so you don't have school. We'll be in Palm Springs for Thanksgiving. But this kid knows her schedule. She also knows the ounces, milliliters of how much water she should have at night, how much cough medicine she should have. She was like, Daddy, is it 2.5? And it was like a little bit over the line. And she's like, no, it's too much. It's supposed to be 2.5. And Brock just looked at me and he was like, God, you are your mother's daughter. And I'm like, yeah, very proud of you. How often do all of the kids hang out? They hang out pretty often. I mean, especially Summer and Ocean. They do gymnastics together. They do dance together. We live around the corner from each other. We hang out as much as we can. Birthday parties and stuff. There's like 26 kids total in their grade, I guess you could call it. So, that's 26 birthdays over the year. And we try to go to all of them. All right, I'm going to take another tea break while my tea is still piping hot, and I'll be right back. All right, y'all, the holiday season is here, which means we're focused on all things festive and gifting. And Jenni Kayne is our go-to destination for the very best of the season. With Jenni Kayne, okay, let me tell you, they have this iconic gift guide that is just leading the way. Jenni Kayne makes it effortless to check off everyone on your list, yourself included. I have one of their cashmere cocoon oversized black sweaters that literally goes with everything. And everything Jenni Kayne makes is pure luxury. From their cashmere knits and essential outerwear to their homeware pieces like their obsession-worthy candles. I mean, there's no better place to get into the seasonal spirit than at Jenni Kayne. For the rest of November, enjoy 25% off everything, home included, during Jenni Kayne's biggest sale of the year. This is the moment everyone has been waiting for, and I can't wait to get all of my shopping done. For a very limited time, you can go to JenniKayne.com and use code GoodAsGold15 to get 25% off. They're offering 25% off everything, both in-store and online, and it is the best discount you'll get. Plus, they have an incredible rewards program where you can earn up to 10% back with every purchase, and joining is completely free. So gift yourself and your loved ones the best gift of all, Jenni Kayne. From now through the end of November, our listeners get 25% off your first order when you use code GoodAsGold15 at JenniKayne.com. That's 25% off your first order for the rest of November when you use code GoodAsGold15 at JenniKayne.com. Let getting dressed be one less thing to worry about. The holidays are better when you're not feeling guilty or worried about carbs. And with Hero Bread, you can indulge in the soft, fluffy experience you love, guilt-free. So whether you want to enjoy, a grilled cheese with maybe a cozy pumpkin soup or a buttery Hawaiian roll sandwich, or as a side with your family dinner, a French toast casserole, around the holidays, just all of these things sound so delicious, and they are, because their products are delicious and flavorful, but have 0 to 1 grams of net carbs, 0 grams of sugar, and are high in fiber. When it comes to our household, we have 3 very different types of eaters. Brock eats everything. Summer and I are a little picky, but Summer and I also love our bread and we love our Hawaiian rolls. A go-to of mine, especially when I'm at my house in Palm Springs, I love to have my fresh Hawaiian rolls, do some turkey on it, make a little sandwich. It's so easy when you're by the pool. Literally any time of year, I'm obsessed with that. And Brock really loves the Hero tortillas, which he calls wraps. That has been his family's favorite to just put any meal wrapped up in it. And you'd never know it's low net carb and high fiber bread from the texture. It's no compromises, just flavor. Hero Bread is offering 10% off your order with their new recipe. Go to hero.co and use code GOODASGOLD at checkout. Okay, no more breaks. Saucy said in her book that Summer doesn't eat frosting, but she was just eating some on your Instagram story. When did she start eating frosting? You guys, I tried to keep her from sugar for so long. We made it a full 2 years. She did not have sugar. And then one day, Auntie Elaine in Newport gave her an ice cream. And it was all downhill from there. Now she knows what candy is. She knows what cake is. She knows what all of the things are that I didn't want her to eat. I didn't want her to have gummies in her teeth, but she's very good with brushing her teeth. And I'm telling you, the first lick of frosting that kid had, it was just bye-bye. I have a kid who loves sugar, and she likes to tell me, I love sugar. So I'm like, okay, as long as you eat your vegetables and brush your teeth, then it's fine. You know, you can have a cake pop. I think that's also where it started, was after dance class, the one on the west side. All of the girls would go get cake pops at Starbucks after. And I'm like, I don't want to be the mom who doesn't let her do what all of the other kids are doing, and then she feels like she doesn't fit in. And just also, I feel like if you keep your kids from sugar for so long, one day they might just go buck wild. So in moderation, we do give her sugar. The moderation is sometimes a little bit daily, but it was so funny. So the other day, she's eating her dinner, her vegetables and all of that. And then she's just like, oh, I'm so full, mommy. And I'm like, oh, okay. I'm like, damn, that's a bummer, you know, because we were going to go get ice cream after. And she's like, oh, ice cream? Oh, well, I do have a little bit of room for ice cream way up here. And I'm like, no, honey, you said you were full. And she goes, well, my food goes here and the ice cream goes up here. So I have room for ice cream. I'm like, just the fact that that's even how her brain works. And she was like, no. You know, kids are never too full for ice cream. But I thought it was absolutely adorable and just had to tell you guys because always has room for ice cream. So I was like, all right, 2 more pieces of broccoli. And then, I'm like, if there's room up top, there's room for a little more broccoli. And she did. She got her ice cream. And yeah, now we're just, we're in it. All right, next question. Where does Alexis Bellino get the nerve to act like she does? You know what, Danielle? Thank you for sending in that question. And I feel like if you watched season 6 of VPR, then you'd know that I too have made poor decisions on camera because of a man's influence. Sadly, more than once. I do hope, you know, that she wakes up out of this like John Jansen trance that she's in, because I would love to see Alexis show up as her authentic self. But, you know, from being a devout Christian as she is in her earlier seasons to now being the mother of a trans child, I'd actually love to hear more from that Alexis. Like if she is going to come back, I feel like the Shannon John Jansen stuff, like I would be fine if she never came back on the show, because that storyline, I just feel like it needs to be done. But just knowing more about her past and just about her child, I know she had once said that her priorities, it was like Jesus, husband, and kid, something like that. And, you know, I'd like to hear more about how she's evolved, how she has changed through divorce and navigating, you know, just the bits of her faith that might have been realigned as her children have stepped into their own identities. So I think that would be interesting if Bravo does choose to bring her back. But if they bring her back and she is still mean to my Shannon Bedore, then Alexis, you could go out the door. Okay? Next up, will there be any shows coming out with you on them soon? Well, if there were, I probably wouldn't be able to talk about it yet, could I? Stay tuned. What would you do? Do you guys hate when I say stay tuned? Comment below, because sometimes I just don't have anything else to say, but I can try and be more creative when I can't answer a question. But yeah. Okay, moving on. What would you do for work if you didn't have VPR? What are your backup plans? I'm doing it right now. I've been doing it for almost 7 years. But if you mean completely, like if I wasn't in entertainment, what would I be doing? I did want to be a teacher. I always thought when I was younger, as much as I always wanted to be in entertainment, but as a backup plan, I always thought, maybe I'll be a teacher at Bishop Amat, the high school I went to, coach cheer. That was like a super backup plan if entertainment didn't work out, because high school was some of the best years of my life. And I thought, it would be fun to go back to and teach kids. I did go back for several years after I graduated and led a Kairos retreat. I went and spoke to students after I got in the entertainment industry and just kind of gave a little speech on that. So that was my backup plan. Any new products coming at Vanderpump Rules? Party wants to know. Yes, I know you're sniffing me out here, but yes, more to come. Can you make Good as Gold merch? Comment below. Let me know what you'd want, because I do have a hat at home that says Good as Gold, but I don't think we sell those. I think I just had one made. I don't know who made, maybe someone made it for me. It's very similar to this, but it just says Good as Gold in gold. So didn't we do hoodies? Yeah, they might still be available. I don't know. Go to Shop Dear Media, and I think there is some merch, but if not, comment below. Let me know what you'd want. All right, moving on. What would the you today say to yourself 20 years ago? And it can't be a generic answer. My friend Michael King sent this in 20 years ago. So that would have put me at 19. Stay away from actors with dimples. Ask a lot of questions. Google people. I feel like that would be really good advice for my 19-year-old self before going into the crazy life of Hollywood that I've had. What's the juiciest thing you've uncovered from Find My Friends? To be honest, that Raquel stopped sharing her location with me. I felt like there was tea there. I was like, you are hiding something. And I think that's honestly the juiciest thing I've ever uncovered. I don't like sit at home and track people. Like I've said, Housewives consumes enough of my time at home. I'm not sitting at home looking like refresh. Where are you? So I don't actually track people. Although I did see on Watch What Happens Live, was it Andy said that I would be the Bravo Secretary of Defense or something from my location tracking of people, which I thought was really funny and took it as a compliment. So thank you. But I just have everyone's location. I'm not actually keeping tabs unless they get home and do not text me when they're home safe. I will check your location. Always. Miss __ Gigi wants to know, how is the medication going? It's going really well. I feel mentally stronger where I'm not crying every day from my intrusive thoughts, from just staring at my beautiful child when she sleeps and just thinking, what if she's not here one day? What if I'm not here one day? Like I'm actually to get through those intrusive thoughts now without crying. So I would say it's working really well. How do you keep the spark between you and Brock? Ooh, that's a good question. I feel like spontaneous sex acts are one way we keep it going. You guys heard the chair stories. So that was just a random, I feel like those are the best ways to keep it going when it's not planned, when it's not like, okay, well, we're out of town, so we have to do this. Summer's not here tonight, so we have to do this, because then it just adds pressure. It's not as fun. So, random places, random times. That's how we keep the spark alive. My friend recently had her second kid and is showing a lot of signs of PPOCD. Oh my God, I'm so sorry to hear that. How can I help her? I would definitely recommend going to the IOCDF.org website. They have so many resources there. They also have past talks and seminars and things you can watch. And also, definitely, she should open up to her doctor or a therapist or a psychiatrist to get a proper diagnosis, because also with PPOCD, it is often misdiagnosed for postpartum depression. And I wouldn't want them to put her on the wrong path of healing. So definitely check out IOCDF.org. So many resources there, and they have been incredible for my healing journey and also in helping Brock understand what it is that I go through. He got so much insight from the conference that we went to, and I feel like he has so much more patience for me now. And anyone who is close to your friend, yourself included, maybe watch a couple of the seminars because I think it would really help you understand what she's going through. And please send her my love and give her a big hug because it is no joke. Okay, moving on. Is your hubby from New Zealand? Is he? Here's the word. It's Maori. People say Maori, but Brock says it like moldy, like I'm Maori. Maori is how he says it. And so I'm like, do I say it like that as an American? Do I say, are you Maori, or do I say Maori? Whatever. Yes, he is both. He's from the North Island. He's from Hamilton. And I don't know which tribe he's linked to, but we can find out. I do know that his great-grandpa or great-great-grandpa invented the haka. So if you know who invented that, then you can trace back his family roots. And he plans to come back to Australia and do some shows. I don't have a set plan, but it is something on my 2025 bingo card that I want to make happen. So stay tuned, because as soon as we can get that, whether it's a podcast show, a show with the 27s, a tour of some sort, Australia is a place I really, really want to do that. And I'm hoping to in 2025. So again, stay tuned. What podcast do you like the most besides your own? Okay, there's a few. Obviously, Give Them Lala. Chicks in the Office. I'm obsessed with Rhea and Fran. And Giggly Squad, Hannah and Paige, are just absolutely hilarious. Any podcast that my friends are guests on or hosts, those are the ones that I enjoy listening to the most. I'm not someone who listens to true crime podcasts and that sort. I'm very much pop culture. So anything in that realm, I like listening to. Also, during the Vanderpump Rules season's airing, I do like to go and listen to So Bad It's Good with Ryan Bailey. I love his recaps. Vanderpump Rules Party and all of the ones that do talk about the show. Danny Pellegrino, he's another great one. I just think it's fun to hear everyone's perspectives. And those are all the ones that I listen to. I think I got them all. Who is your favorite friend in Vegas? And it better be me. Well, Mikey P, you are one of them, because if I said you are my favorite, then my other friends would get upset. But you are my longest friend in Vegas, and you are so special. I love you. What were your favorite TV shows when you were growing up? Oh my God, I had so many. I loved Full House, Family Matters. I loved Step by Step, In Living Color. What else did I love growing? I loved all of the Nickelodeon and Disney shows. I mean, I wanted to be a Nickelodeon Disney kid. It ended up happening for me at 23 years old. Still took those roles. Loved it. But all that, the Amanda Show. I mean, so many iconic shows from the 90s. Kids Incorporated, Mickey Mouse Club. Loved all of those. Your tree looks beautiful. Who decorated your house for the holidays? So my friend Ashley has a company. It is at holidaycreations_interiors. I've posted them on stories. I'm going to post some more. And there's actually a static post on Summer Moon's page, because this tree is so beautiful. I'm going to just keep posting it. But seriously, I know she does have a few days still open if you want to get your house decorated for Christmas. It was just something that I couldn't do myself. It was a job too big for my house. I didn't go all out. I just had her do the downstairs kitchen and living room. My mom did our staircase for us. Oh, she also did Summer's room. But it turned out so incredible, better than I ever could have imagined. So I highly recommend, if you are lazy like me and you don't want to do it, she goes and does all of the shopping for you and then will set it up, pack it away, and you keep everything. So it was perfect for me. Why was Tucker from Big Brother at your wedding? Okay, funny story actually from this past week. So Brock was at the RHOBH this weekend. It was the reality TV awards. And someone pointed out to Brock that the guy on stage was at his wedding. And he was like, no way. Like, I don't know who that is. There's no way he was at our wedding. And so my friend texted me asking, was Tucker from Big Brother at your wedding? I was like, yeah, he came as Kyle Chan's +1. Kyle Chan was the only person allowed a +1 at the wedding. So anyone else listening being like, you told me I couldn't have a +1. No, you couldn't. Kyle Chan made my beautiful engagement ring. We got a killer deal on it. So he was allowed a +1 for the wedding. And his +1 was Tucker. And I hope Tucker had fun because, well, I know he had fun because the wedding was iconic. I actually just had an epiphany. People keep asking me, what are you going to do for your 40th birthday? And I'm like, you know what? I think I want to go back to Mexico, recreate the white party, do the welcome party again for my 40th birthday, whether that is at Dreams Natura and it's a family-friendly event, or we go to one of the adult resorts and just do adults only. I feel like that is going to be my plan for my 40th. We've got less than 6 months to plan. Don't know if that's enough time, but Brock is on it. So stay tuned and you'll see it on the vlog. But that is it for this week. I hope all of my US listeners have a wonderful Thanksgiving holiday next week. If you're traveling, please be safe out there. I'll see you next week, guys. Bye.
Searching for this all my life.